Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got something a little different today. I'm going to be looking at something not Japanese or micro. Well, actually, it is a micro brand, I lied. But they've been around for almost a decade now, maybe more, I think. This is the Christopher Ward Mark III version of the C60 Trident Pro 600. The 600 is obviously for the 600 meters of water resistance. You can see it there on the dial. You can see it on the case back. Very nice piece. This is not an unboxing, obviously. It's just a little bit of a first impression. I've had it for a few days here. Not sure if I'm going to keep it. I'll get into why in a little bit. It's definitely well built, very well finished. But yeah, I'll give you my reasonings, my pros and cons list in a little bit. So it came in the, I don't know if you guys know, but came in a typical Christopher Ward outer box, which is inside of it. It holds this nice wooden box with the long, elongated, oops, sorry for the bump in the camera, manuals. It's like a nice feeling, like cedar or something kind of wood. Very nice, sanded. Actually still smells like the lumber yard. I'm not a wood cutter or woodsman, so I don't know too much about different types of lumber or materials, but it definitely smells like real wood, like it hasn't been, you know, treated with a bunch of chemicals and stuff. Anyway, back to the watch. This is the C60 Trident Pro 600 Mark III, like I said earlier. This is the 40 millimeter case, so I thought I would really enjoy it. I'm on a quest to find pretty much the perfect everyday watch, and I prefer divers. I would love something more like a Rolex Explorer, I think, just because I get that divers are made to, you know, get wet and sandy and take a beating and look great while doing it. The only thing being, I don't want something that I have to maintain too much, you know, like if you go on the beach too much and all that, and rust and sand and all that debris and wear and tear. Not that I'm a professional or expert on this, but I would assume all those elements and you know, things going against it would you know, tighten the bezel up, or, you know, mostly it's tightening the bezel thing, and then I wouldn't have to want to pop the bezel off or get it fixed just for something like that. Not that I don't enjoy bezels. This one's got a pretty great sounding one. I'll be quiet so you can hear. So this one sounds great. It's a little loose. I don't really have to put much pressure at all. Barely pushing, and it's going quick. Trying to show you with different fingers. It's thumb and pinky. It goes real quick. Lines up perfectly though. No back play. Bezel inserts loomed. I can't get enough of looking at it. That's what I thought would happen. I was a little afraid that would happen. I like looking at it more than I like wearing it, and that isn't going to cut it to stay in my collection, especially at this price. I think they're going for $950 or $965 on Christopher Ward's website, and obviously they're from London, from the UK, or based in London, but out of England, so you have to pay for shipping and all that. I actually got this one from a US buyer, so it was, or for a US seller, so it wasn't too expensive with the shipping. What else? Yeah, like I said, 40 mil diameter, 47 lug to lug, or just a bit over, so that wingspan isn't too diminutive, but also not too long. I think it's about 13 thick, or just under 13 mil thick, with a flat sapphire crystal. It's got a little bit of a box to it. If you can see, it just sits a little bit proud off the bezel insert, just a tad. But it's dead flat, coated with anti-reflective coating underneath. I think it's a blue AR. It's very light though. You can only see it in some lights. I might be mistaken. It's got the Christopher Ward traditional Trident on the back, counterbalance of the second hand. I actually do not mind the branding. A lot of people complain about Christopher Ward with the name over here and the kind of ghost logo up here that appears and disappears. I'm going to try to catch it for you. It's like the Swiss flag and the cross from the British flag intertwined. You can kind of see it just there. Color match date wheel. Swiss made down there at the 6. Very nice piece. I love the finishing. I love the, it's called the light catcher case. So it's got polished edges, chamfers everywhere. Catches a light. The bezel insert is very shiny. Compare it quick to the Seiko Marine Master 200, which I thought had a shiny bezel until I saw this, and this thing just bounces light. You can see they're kind of similar in size, looking straight at them. Just the lug to lug, obviously, on the Marine Master is, or the baby Marine Master is, you know, 51, a little over 51, so you can see the length difference. But the face width, for this being almost a 44 mil, they don't look too hugely different in width or diameter. So this one's a 40, this one's a 43.8, 43.9, I think. But the curves of this, the Seiko, obviously make it a little more comfortable. I think my biggest downfall with the Christopher Ward is that it does not have the crown at 4 o'clock. I'm getting spoiled with my 4 o'clock crowns with that and my Zelos, or Zelos Mako B3. I think for me, a 4 o'clock crown on an everyday piece, which most likely will be a diver, is a necessity. I'm spoiled by all my Seikos by having turtles and, you know, older Seiko 5s, the little tiny 36mm ones. They just wear so comfortable with the crown over there. Not that this is not comfortable. It's just I like having the ability to flex the wrist back without having the crown dig in right in that spot. It just offsets it a little bit by being at 4, and it doesn't hurt, it doesn't sting, it doesn't itch, it doesn't leave a mark too much. I explained in one of my old videos that mark's actually from one of those cheap Movement watches, like the fashion brand Movement. That was one of my first, you know, watches that cost over $100. I'm not a hater, obviously. I wouldn't say I'm a hater on it, but just that part I didn't like. I'm a little bit all over the place, guys. I'm in the middle of homeschooling my kids. They're on break right now, so I gave them a little breakfast, and then I'm coming up here to make a video. And that's dad life and watch nerd life for you. And it looks like they're going to be homeschooled till the middle of January now, so that kind of sucks for them. But I mean, glad they're safe. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it. We don't have to talk COVID if you don't want. We can stick to watches, so sorry about that. What else about this guy? Just give you some angles. I like the micro adjust in the clasp. It's similar to the Zelos clasp, just probably a little bit more refined. A little bit, feels a little bit more sturdy. It's got the micro. You just pull that little lever down, and you can do this on the fly. I usually wear it on the third to last one. I'm noticing, like, I'm between links, so that fits pretty well. I'm gonna give you a wrist shot quick. This is Zelos. Nice. I got it on a Tropic rubber. So throw it on the wrist. You guys can look. I love the. I don't know why, but this does it for me. This is another little attention to detail thing that I'm a weirdo about. I do like this little branding right there with Christopher Ward. I like the minimal here. I'm glad they didn't put the name here full spelled out Christopher Ward, you know, in long form. I'm glad they just put the little flag logo. I like that Christopher Ward is here. They signed the crown a little, just the flag logo. And then on the face, obviously you have both, but you can't see that one at 12, so it's not too bad. So here we go. Throw it on, nice milled clasp. So that's it. On a 7 1/4, 7 1/8 sometimes inch wrist, depending how much salt I ingest for the day. That's it. It's got good, it's brushed on the bracelet, but it's very nicely brushed. It's nicely finished, so it kind of reflects light very nice, but it's not blingy until you get to the lugs. And then at the different angles you can see like nice chamfering and all that. Definitely the light catcher. Name is well earned. As you can see, it doesn't hang off the edges, being a 47 lug to lug. Very clean, just very clean is best way I can describe it is clean, elegant, under $1,000 I could say, or I dare say. This would probably look great on leather. I know a lot of people are against that, being a diver and all, but I don't know if this is true, but the way I think of it is my opinion. Indices on divers, especially black dial divers, because I always say those are the classiest and timeless looks of diver watches. Indices, I think circles indices or round indices are more tool looking. And I think the dashes, or batons or fence posts, whatever they are, these indices are more dressy, in my opinion. I know a Submariner comes with circles and round ones, but a Submariner is a Submariner. If you see one in the wild, you know what it is. You know it cost $8 grand plus, so you know what, it can pretty much do anything, and it has a right to. I mean, any watch has a right to do anything, but just, if you're being a little bit of a wuss, then that's what it is. This, I would not mind rocking on leather at all. Probably look good on a NATO, dark colored NATOs, even some light brown or tan or khaki. See, if I reflect the light a little bit, you can kind of see, it almost gives it a little purplish blue AR tint. I'm not sure if there's actually that. It could be clear, and I could just be losing my mind. So that's the C60 Trident Pro, 40 millimeters. 600 meters water resistance is cool to show people, but it's obviously overkill for us that are mostly desk divers. Looks great, looks absolutely great, fits great. The 40 makes it not dig in too much like I complain about. It's got a little bit of taper on the bracelet from 20 at the lugs, 20 millimeters at the lugs, tapers a little bit, jumps back up at the clasp a tad. Very easy, single deployant, double pusher, no fold over obviously, or no little extra clasp there to fold it over. I'm going to do a quick Lume shot. I might as well do it against these two here while they're out. But yeah, it wears great, doesn't feel too heavy. I think with the 2 or 3 links I popped out, it's at 164 grams, 164 grams, not too bad. Actually, you know what? I have a scale here, so let me weigh it quick for you. If my kids didn't touch it. Yeah, it's here. 1 second. Hello. Let's pop it on. Oh, even less. 158.8. So I'll say 159 grams just about. So it's just under 160. So it fits comfortable, wears comfortable, worn it, to work, out and about, trying not to scratch it up, because I'm probably going to end up flipping it. It's not going to stick around. Maybe the 38 would have fit better without, the jutting out of the crown. I think I'm being a little bit of a baby, guys. I think that's all it is. Like, this obviously is a way bigger watch on paper, and on the wrist it feels bigger and much heavier. I think it's 173 I weigh this guy in. But just the crown offset does something, and the curves of the Seiko do something. So let's not take away from this guy. Beautiful watch, beautifully finished, beautifully machined. Not really many bad things to say. It's mostly, I'd say, my opinion on what I don't like about it. I don't think many people will agree with me, but that's what I think. Let's see. That's low light. I got a little bit of light coming in from the outside through my... Okay guys, I'm back to finish off the video on the Christopher Ward Trident Pro. It's on the left here. These are them in low light. So I'm comparing it with the Zelos Mako V3 in the middle, and on the right is the Seiko Marine Master 200 or SPB077. I cheated a little bit and blasted them all with my phone flashlight, just for a couple seconds each. If anything, I hyped up this one, the Christopher Ward on the left, gave it a little bit more exposure. And as you can see, it seems to be fading a little bit quicker, well, a lot quicker. Bezel insert is lumed, but that's going first already. The Zelos holding its own in the middle very well, and then the Seiko on the right, I believe, is the Lume Bright is just, you can't really beat that at the price. So yeah, the Christopher Ward, not many complaints. It's just, I'm a little bit of a Lume geek, so, and it'll definitely do the job. I notice it dies off quicker, it fades off quicker, but it doesn't die off. It fades quicker than, you know, Lume Bright or even the, whatever they're using in Zelos. This is apparently, the Christopher Ward's supposed to be using some newer one, but I think it's more to help with the daytime color of the lume inside the indices. So it's not that yellow or faded or off-white color. It's just like a plain white, purely white indice and index and marker and hands until you get in darkness. Then it turns, you know, that bright green. So that's my final thoughts on it. Beautiful watch. I'd say mid to high level lume. Certainly not as good as this or that, but it'll do. It'll stay lit for a few hours through the night. If you really look, you could probably get it maybe 4 or 5 hours. But I mean, me being who I am and enjoying what I like, I would want it to last even longer than that. Like, I've been spoiled with these two. These last literally through the night. You wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning after going to bed at, you know, 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and those are still very legible. This I haven't worn like to bed or had it on my bedstand enough to notice, but overall, great piece. Let me hit the light. And I'm glad I picked it up and got to see it. Got to wear it a little bit, got to enjoy it. But I think it's going to go back or get flipped, so thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the support. You can like, subscribe, comment, any thoughts or opinions. I would appreciate it. Give me something to do when I'm on break at work or on the throne. I appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks for sticking around.